This episode of Inside Golf Podcast is brought to you by Inside Sports Network.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Boston Capital, Toodle Steve on the Hold the Green podcast.
All right, we are live. Tap in, birdie.
All right, Carson Young is here. I bet Ludvig at 28.
Let's go. I bet
You
him
did
at,
too?
I bet him at 25.
Low sevens. I think there's some guys in here we like.
Harris English at 7,300.
Why the fuck would I not bet Rory?
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night. It's your boy Capper. We are without Toodle Steve tonight. His kids are miserable and sick, and that makes him miserable and sick. So I brought on friend of the program, Jeff Feinberg. Jeff, what's up, buddy?
What up, Capper? Good to join you. Good to talk some golf. I don't know if I'll find something profound with the bets that I'm making this week, but I always like talking through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy the government of Ontario let you on my show. That's a plus. Maybe he's not going to make it. I don't know.
Yeah,
You got your USA hat on too.
Yeah, I got my USA hat. I'm going to Scottsdale next week, so
nice.
You know, I'm not one of these people who like boycotting you guys or anything. Like I'm going to Scottsdale next week.
Do some desert golf while you're out there?
I'm going with the kids. Might be hard, but we'll see. I got no plans to golf, but we'll see.
What's out in Scottsdale?
My
Family
folks,
people?
Yeah, family people. I mean, granted, there'll be some people to watch the kids. I'm not really jonesing to golf, and I'm not really haven't started my like simulator season, and by that I mean like just started swinging a club. Yeah. So I don't like the thought of going and playing like one-off round when I haven't like played in months, and then I'm not really going to get into it again for like a little bit. I'll usually maybe try to like oil the body up like around the Masters, right? Like that. Yes. That's the sign that it's coming. But I'm not one of these guys grinding on a simulator in an off season. I'll tell you that much.
No, that sounds miserable. Like I love
exactly,
golf, but I'm not doing that shit. I guess I didn't think of that. Like you'd get to go golf and then you'd have to go back home where it's still freezing and not play again. It's like going to a strip bar, right? Like you're there and you're like, this isn't really going to pay anything off, and you go home miserable.
Decent analogy. Like you said, yeah.
So you're doing like a social show on the Hammer now, is that right?
I guess social's a way to put it. Not really golf, but it's just sort of my buddy Pizzola sort of like talk about like, some of like the dumbest or best, tweets and in like the sports gambling scene. And they just bring me on. I'm like the recreational bettor. And there are a couple professionals, so they make me sound stupid, but whatever.
I got plenty of those, and like because you're like me, I don't give a shit if it's 120 or 115. It makes no fucking difference to me whatsoever. I'm not
betting enough for it to like make a difference. But if you're a pro bettor and it's your life, then absolutely. I guess like those 5 cents mean everything. But if I've got money in one book, and that's where my money is. I'm not like just the concept of depositing into another book for a 5-cent line. Like, no, I'm just not doing
the hassle.
that.
The hassle's not worth it. I mean, so you come down to Florida, so we only have Hard Rock down here. The Seminoles are fucking criminals. It is the worst sports book in the country. The lines that I see people get compared to what I get just make me want to cry. So I try to actually stay away from like everybody's card on Monday to see all the awesome closing CLV that they get compared to the shit I get. Like I bet you if I open it up right now, Xander's like 14 here versus 18 everywhere else.
I'm actually seeing some 20s have started to show up, to be honest.
It's crazy. That's some serious drift. So what do you think about API? I usually like this tournament.
I love the tournament, right? We've had a lot of fun finishes, a lot of great winners, firm and fast. Right, like it sort of checks all the boxes. Now that Honda's become like a like a much softer
All
golf
events?
course. Yeah, like it just, this kind of feels like the first ramp up to some serious
Yep.
golf.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to get a ton of. It looks like they're going to get a ton of rain on Wednesday, which is softening it up a little bit. But some of the footage from that rough looks nasty. Not your normal bullshit like, oh, look, here's my joke dropping the golf ball in. It looks fucking nasty. And then the winds on Thursday and Sunday, there should be some serious car wrecks going on. So it probably gives hope to your boy Fleetwood. Maybe goes out and posts a low number on a Sunday, and everybody else gets ate up by the wind. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. Like Scottie scares me, Rory scares me, Xander's back. It's a fucking signature event, tough conditions, tough course. Like it just seems like one of the top guys is gonna take it.
It's an elevated event. It's Bay Hill. Courses like this, like I just tried not to overthink it. In the most part, I'd argue these are the easier events to bet. The last couple of weeks show you just how wide open some of these, these lesser, those tier events are on the PGA Tour, just how wide open they are. But these ones, I got the Brooks Koepka like theory with these ones, right?
Yeah.
Like
No,
you just
absolutely.
keep it short, keep it simple. Don't overthink it. If you get clipped by Kurt Kitayama, you just kind of tip your cap. But I usually just make shorter, more efficient cards, near the top of the board.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a Joe Highsmith coming through this week. But I mean, look, Kitayama did win that one year. Made that
The way that you're talking about the weather and the wind makes me think like the variables could be up big time.
Yeah,
that's
what gives me pause.
That kind of scares me. But I make my bets on Monday, and we're here.
Yeah, but and it's the same point. Yeah, it might bring the variance up, right? But who plays the best in those conditions? It's not the shit bums at the bottom, right? It's the guys.
Yeah,
at
but
the
if
top.
wind is gonna like just knock guys, like if you almost like if the field gets limited in a big way based on Thursday, then right? Then there's a lot of puncher's chances. I haven't looked at the windows as to when the wind is up. DraftKings is also illegal for me. Like you complain about the betting, I still can't play DraftKings in Ontario, which is pathetic.
I just got back into DraftKings, and because obviously with Andy and Kobe and all these guys who are super sharp, I took down a GPP last week.
Let's go, buddy.
I was like, I like DraftKings. This is fun.
Yeah. I'm just not being involved in that. Like, not really like building lineups, hawking the weather. My bets are in. I'm not changing them.
Yeah, I think the wind looks fine on Friday and Saturday, right? So like the whole round score might not be too bad, but I'll just use Orlando's airport. But Sunday, when the leaders are out, looks like the worst on Sunday. Like doesn't look great. It's probably like 10 to 14 miles an hour up till about 1 o'clock. And then it's like gusts up to 35, like when the leaders would be hitting the course. So we'll see. And the PGA, they could just shut it down and play it on Monday. They're close enough to up here.
Yeah. So that's a bad sign. Like if I bet Scottie Scheffler, I really would hate seeing that.
Right. Yeah, so
it almost has me like rethinking I'm not changing anything, but it kind of makes me uneasy, and I could potentially see why the strategy of just like peppering some long shots with like the each ways if possible, which I never do. But as a rec better, like I can bet for fun, but like just in being sort of looking at it. And what I think maybe the best strategy might be, probably like peppering some like guys in the 50 to 70 range, right? And if you're like really conservative, playing them with placings, because that weather, 30-mile-an-hour gusts, like that means like wide fucking open, maybe.
Yeah. So if you look from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., sustained of 21 and up to 35. But you come to Florida, man, you know the weather changes on a fucking instant down here. All that shit could move. And I mean, look, you got Friday and Saturday to make hay. So maybe even if you go out on the leaderboard, if you got a field goal or a 4-shot lead, then you can sustain it. You know, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, look, 30 mile an hour winds is definitely a scary proposition.
I just hope to have guys. I hope to have guys in the running. I don't know what that's going to look like. We've seen chasers come back recently before, right? Like a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Molinari. I think Hatton might be the only guy who wasn't a chaser.
Held on. Yeah. He's the only one who he somehow held on to that lead. I don't even think he shot under par that weekend, did he? I think he still shot like 1 over or 2 over.
Yeah. So holding on is hard AF here. And
yeah.
You almost wouldn't want to be like in a perfect world, like obviously you want to be the leader, but history says you might not want to be.
Yeah, you might want to be one of those guys who goes out at 10 a.m., has a nice, like a Sam Burns type thing, right? Like whatever tournament that was. We went out and shot 8 under, posted a score, and the field came back to him with a win. I think it was somewhere in Texas. I can't remember, Valero maybe. I'm so bad at remembering golf tournaments and fucking what happened when my brain is.
Yeah, it might have been Charles Schwab. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bad with that. Steve's around to remind me of all my painful lost bet memories. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We got the Players next week. I love the Players. It's my hometown event. It's always fun to go to. But the Players definitely has more of a waste management type atmosphere to it than I feel like API does. Like when I go to Sawgrass, it's 90% of the people are there just to socialize and get fucking hammered. And I'm one of the few wandering around following the golfers. So I think API brings out, especially if the weather's going to be shit, like it'll have real golf fans out there. I'm excited for it. I want to get down there one year. It never ever works out for my schedule, but yeah, I think we could see a bloodbath, which is always fun for me.
You think we're going to see a bloodbath next week?
No, this week. God knows next week. It's been super dry up here in Ponte Vedra and St. Augustine too. It should be firm right now. Like I can't even tell you the last time we got any decent rain. It's been a minute. So the Florida swing should get some fireworks for us anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a small field, so
yeah, it's a small cut.
Playing out of one wave, and by the time they play the weekend, there's only 50 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But listen, if I'm gonna lose bets, I enjoy a bloodbath.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly.
Winning a bet, surviving a bloodbath is like exhausting and exhilarating to win. Like at the end, and you feel like you've just been in like a battle. Like you tell your wife, like, "Honey, I got to shower." Like what? Like you just played or something. Yeah. Right. You got to walk. But yeah, if I'm going to be blown out of this thing early, at least it should be great to watch, hopefully.
Yeah. So it was like, because when I was sweating on Sunday with the DraftKings thing, I was at my buddy's house with my godson for his birthday party, and he's got like a small bet on something. He's a golf casual, and so I'm obviously refreshing the app, checking the betting boards so I can know what the hell's going on with all the shots, and I'm like getting pissed off. I'm like, well, this shot happened 10 minutes ago. He's already on this hole, and he's like, you're ruining the experience for me. Like, listen, man. Like this is a different type of grind that we're watching here. Like the coverage, you don't understand how bad this coverage is. You need these apps to be able to follow what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, if you're interested in more than the popular players or the guys at the top, you certainly do.
You see the MasterCard's doing like some sort of like commercial free thing supposedly. They're buying up a couple blocks at a time and they're not going to show any commercials. I don't believe them. There's going to be something, right? Like there's not just going to be like a MasterCard ticker at the bottom.
Yeah, it seems like it'll be like a playthrough. So I'm not sure. And some like caddy mic'd up things. Oh yeah, I'm sure there'll be like a heavy MasterCard placement things on it.
Yeah. I just want to know why they couldn't do.
Trying to think, who are the MasterCard golfers these days? Obviously,
Justin
Rose, and Cam Young was. I don't know if he still is.
No, they probably dropped him because he's not good at golf. So
I think Victor was. He's got a lot of sponsorships. So maybe they'll be focusing on their guys, but Yeah, I don't know. Should be cool. Should be different. Like if it works out great. Thank you
Yeah,
for buying the time. Hopefully, I'm getting the same thing up here. They might
You
charge us
guys
a
get better.
tariff
You
on
guys
those.
get better. You guys get way better golf coverage up there from how I hear you guys talk about it than what I get down here.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like
Well,
when you guys go for your break on CBS, we get like a live feed on our carrier.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And for the majors, we have it pretty good. Like we have all the specialty channels kind of accessible. Like when the Masters has four things going.
Yeah.
But I would trade I would trade your guys for ours for sure.
Okay.
In the long run, yeah.
All right, I got you. Yeah, was it 4 years ago at Sawgrass where they had a fucking camera on every player and we got to see every shot. That was amazing. And it just happened one time. I don't understand why they did it once and never attempted it again. Like it was awesome. There was no golf announcers. You could just hear the golf, follow who you wanted. It was fucking great.
It was almost too good to be true.
Yeah, it really was. It was perfect. I had like fucking 3 screens up on my desk. It was beautiful. Like I had like all my golfers up, and I didn't have any annoying. Do you get the PGA Live, like the ESPN Plus up there? Like Thursday?
Yeah, we can get yeah.
So that the new guy that they're trying to run out there, that Jake Marsh guy, he makes me want to break my TV. He is possibly the most annoying golf announcer on the planet.
He's trying a little too hard, Jake.
It is bad. It's ear rape. I do not.
He's like Big Cat's boy.
Yeah, he is Big Cat's boy. Patriots fan, Big Cat, by the way. Not Chicago.
Patriots.
That's wild. What's your take on that? Because you're a big super fan, right? Like I feel like it just kind of snowballed and like got out of control. He's just living this lie for a decade, and I get it. Like he probably got past the point where he thought he could say anything. But how crazy is that? You're basically cosplaying as a different human.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
It's pretty funny.
It's crazy.
I get moments where like I cared a lot, then I'm like I don't actually care, so I wasn't.
No,
really
I don't
sure.
actually give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't actually. It's just weird. It's.
But it's like a very You're right. It's like it's like a very, 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 very telling character flaw.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's
like in a different way, in a completely different way, it would be like someone coming, telling you now, like, supporting Diddy or something.
Okay, sure.
Like I'm just saying, like you would be like, what? Like what? Yeah. Like what? Like that guy? Okay, like we just learned something about you. No that's not going anywhere.
No, that Diddy shit's wild. That Diddy shit is fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even like read into it. It's actually shit like that that's so disturbing. I don't even read the I'll see like one line of the details and I'll like put them down or like, yeah, that's enough. I'm not reading the rest of that. I don't watch those like documentaries or specials.
Oh yeah, I just started.
I'm not doing. I don't do that shit. I know.
And what's crazy is you forget about shit. Like they went way back in the day with, I don't know how familiar you are with like hip hop, right? But like with Heavy D and Puffy, when Puffy was coming up, we're like putting like concerts together and like these gatherings, and I completely forgot like they oversold this fucking thing in the Bronx, and like 7 people got stampeded to death. Like that's something that was just completely out of my mind, and it was because Puffy did something wrong, and it's just crazy. Crazy.
I'm sorry I brought us in that direction.
I don't know how the fuck we got on that. I don't care. But fault. It's fine. I do the same thing to Steve. So I mean, I guess top of the board. How afraid are you with Scottie and Rory and Ludvig? Really, I know Ludvig's your boy.
I bet Ludvig. I got 19 on Sunday night.
That's a good
and I took some 18 again the next morning, and it's fallen since. It's one of just 2 bets that I have.
You got a short card.
Yeah, I mean I could add another, but maybe I should just save something for live when it gets super windy
Sunday morning. Yeah.
But yeah, Scottie scares the shit out of me. I looked at it. My first instinct was, yeah, for sure Scottie's gonna win. I clicked his name. I wasn't like betting it yet or like really thinking about it, but I just put like, $500-600 like risk in the computer, and it just showed me what it paid, and I was like, I don't even care. Like, I'm just not. Like, it's just not worth like for $500 or $600 risk. Like, that payout just doesn't even. Yeah. I don't even care to. Yeah, it doesn't even compute. So no. And Rory, I like Rory a lot. He should win. I could argue that like he, double the price of Scottie. That's probably the better bet if you had to make it. Probably. I didn't bet it, but Ludvig,
perfect for this golf course. Absolutely fucking
perfect for the golf course if he plays. Like, I don't know, I think, the win is just maybe gonna release him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he's plus off the board. He's super plus off the tee, super plus with approach. So this seems like a place that, it wasn't. Once I decided I wasn't betting Scottie, it was actually pretty easy for me to just click in on Ludvig.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's the only outright I've hit so far this year. He's the only thing I've done well in one and done. I love Ludvig. The kid is a stud, and since you told me that he looks like Tom Brady, I can't get it out of my head, and so
there's some weird, like, sometimes he makes like weird facial mannerisms, and you like see, right? I mean, you probably 100%. See it more than I do because you probably watched like behind the scenes stuff and a lot more like Brady content.
Patriots porn, sir, is what I call it.
All In, right? Was the web show that Cuss would always hate watch and talk about. But I see Brady. I'm not talking about how good he is. That's a different thing. But just in these awkward mannerisms, I see some Brady.
It's all I can see now. Like, and it's so funny. I pointed out to everybody. I'm like, especially like all my people from Massachusetts. I'm like,
and when you point out too hard, they're like, "What's he talking about?" I don't see it. But like, there's some subtle things that like I felt great telling it to you, and you like.
Immediately bought
it clicking for you. Good.
It's literally all I see now, and I love him too. So like, I can't get through. I tried to do the fucking Netflix full swing thing.
I'll get there eventually.
No, I won't. Like, I
gotta be on like a delayed airplane, like really deep into content. I get it. When you're in the golf pretty deep, and you are perennially online for golf. Yeah, it just feels. Either some of the stuff you already know, or it just feels like
it's not even
put on at this point.
Yeah, well, that first of all, most of the people I have on there are fucking annoying. But the biggest thing for me is like, I forget how much I don't like 99% of the golfers. Like, they're just so like. There's a reason why I end up rooting for
Justin Thomas. Very hateable when you like watch something like that for a few minutes.
So hateable. Yeah. It's just I don't know. I can't deal with the country club robots, and like, give me like a decent story. Like, at least some of the Finau stuff was kind of cool. I about ripped my, like, I had to stop watching when Zach Johnson called. This is the last one, called Keegan, and when he was basically giving hand jobs to Ricky and JT under the table, so that they pretend to like him, so they'd be on the Ryder Cup team. I was so Team Euro. I was so anti-American during that cup, and we'll see how this year shakes out. We'll see who's on the team this year. Keegan's my guy, so I don't know. We'll see who he picks, though. Some of these guys are just completely fucking unlikable, completely. And Ludvig, so that's the whole point. So I watched the first episode, and Ludvig is like a very chill dude. I know exactly where he lives after they showed where his house is at. I was like, oh, I know where he's at. And
so you could tell me which Starbucks and Chipotle I'd need to hang out at to like.
That is 100% correct. Yes, 100%.
Okay,
if you come down,
I'm joking.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying if you come down for the players one year, we'll go hang out at that. We'll hang out at the local Starbucks.
We'll do like a 6 a.m. shift at the Starbucks. Like,
exactly.
No, I am joking. That's not. I know you think like I'm hardcore like that. Like, no, I don't actually.
No.
care
No,
that
I know.
much.
But yeah, I mean, look, he was super likable, and it might be because he's young and he's foreign and he's not. I don't know. He just doesn't seem like an asshole. Seems like a nice dude. Likes like he has like a really expensive coffee maker, and that's like his vice. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can get behind you. And all he cares about is winning. You can tell all he cares about is winning, and just his demeanor at the Masters, because I was there that year. And like his demeanor, I followed him around for a little bit, always smiling, bad shot, still a smile. Like, I feel like he gets it, So I don't know. I love Ludvig. I couldn't get there just 'cause I don't know if he's going to win back-to-back signature bets. And I know that's a stupid fucking reason not to bet somebody. But I just didn't. I didn't bet the top of the board either. I bet Decky at 25.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's talking about him.
Nope. That's
He's
usually when he wins. Yeah.
Yep.
He
He's
certainly
a
doesn't
wizard.
win when people are talking about him.
No, absolutely not. That's when you run away because he withdraws with a shoulder injury. But he's a wizard around the greens now. The only thing that worries me is he's a little shaky off the tee right now, and that rough looks fucking pretty nasty. It's like looks like it's gonna be like 4 inches, and if it's gonna rain on Wednesday night, it's gonna make it even tougher to get out of. Yeah. But you never know. They can do the lift, clean, and place shit like the PGA Tour loves to do.
Can I just defend? I mean, I'm not betting him. Obviously, if he wins, I'm not surprised. But I mean, I thought it was such a great sign. He played 4 weeks in a row. This is Decky we're talking about. Farmers, Pebble, Waste, Genesis. He must be feeling like $1 million.
Yep.
He did lose strokes off the tee in all 4 of those, which is a fair concern. But I mean, he took no weeks off to like fix it. Now he hasn't played since the Genesis, pretty much 2-3 weeks. I'm certain he is like tuned it. Right? Like you can have just so much confidence in that guy that you don't even need to see it. You don't even need to see it turn to just know, like, I'm going to bet on it fucking turning.
Yeah. And he's if it's going to be bad weather and if it's going to be a big dog who wins it, Decky doesn't get talked about like in these conversations for the big dog. But I mean, the man won the Masters. He's won a bunch of big boy events, and I feel like we think he's older than he is.
Did you consider Cantley or JT or any of those guys?
No, fuck JT. That he is a gutless fucking loser in these tough conditions. No fucking shot. No shot.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought about both of them, but
yeah. So I'm just at my limit with like first of all I can't stand JT, right? So it takes me a lot to get on.
And I'll say to your point, like you're betting the guy that's actually winning tournaments on a semi-regular basis. Both those guys, Cantley and JT, in the same price point. For 4 years. Yeah, I think I think it's like 4. Yeah, it's freaking wild. And JT is that PG, right? So. It's almost like insulting to Hideki to be priced with them.
It is.
Hideki's like Hideki's perennially underrated for how good he is. I'll give you that. The price seems fair. I'm not betting it, but you've made a lot of great points.
Yeah, and I just think, so if you look at like Rory's struggles, right? I call people in your life that like suck the emotion out of you, emotional vampires, right? And that's what Jay is. Jay's an emotional fucking vampire who sucked all the life out of Rory when he was on the Players Council, and now Cantlay is on the Players Council.
Scott. I love Adam Scott, and I want him to like get this win late in the career.
Yeah,
these like White House visits, forgetting like what you care about. It's just being involved. Winning is so hard. Being involved in that shit. It's almost like gives you no. Guys don't win. It's like proving guys don't win being on that shit.
Nope, exactly right. And so I think Cantlay is definitely going into that. And
isn't Cantlay?
I don't know.
I guess Cantlay, but I guess Mav McNeely. Maybe he actually hasn't even. Well, he did win last year. Maybe he could be the guy to break through the
Monahan
being
curse.
Involved. Yeah, being near Jay's aura. Yeah,
I've seen lots of people fail up in life, but this motherfucker has a golden horseshoe up his ass. It is insane. So I used to work for a corporation.
Yeah,
real quick. I used to work for a corporation that he was employed at, and he was terrible then, and he kept failing up there, and then he somehow made it to the PGA Tour. I have no idea how that works.
I have to kind of. I mean, like, this is a safe space right now. And
Always.
yes, people are watching. But do I need to prepare myself to give him credit? Hear me out in the sense that at this moment in time, it does feel like the leverage has turned back in the PGA Tour's favor, right? Mm-hmm. They survived like the heaviest, murkiest waters, skies, and now they seem to be sailing with leverage and lives, questions. Like they've never really answered any questions other than if you go there, you can still perform in majors, because we've seen like guys win and guys play great, or pretty much like all the right. It won't hinder your ability to be an amazing performer at major championships. I would say that's the only question Liv answered. But and the PGA, a lot of people are saying, Capper, that they are now like playing a long game. Like they have now slow rolled this thing. They like want to wait Liv out. They want to wait out to see what Liv does in terms of a Brooks and Bryson contract expiring, and like force them to either, like Bryson knows his leverage. He's not an idiot right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So either force them into like paying the moon, or, almost forcing them to close up shop. If you're not re-signing Bryson, you may as well fucking close the fucking shop. So at the end of it, will we have to be like, good job, Jay. You held them on.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because
he didn't. It wasn't a set strategy, right? It wasn't. They just fell into it.
It wasn't. It was fell into it.
No, they fell into it. So it's just like so Elliot Wolf is my shitbag GM for the Patriots, right? And he's had two of the worst drafts I've ever fucking seen. But all these mouth-breathing Patriots fans want to give him credit for picking Drake May. He just picked the guy who was left. Like,
you don't get credit for that. Yeah,
you don't get credit for that. Jay doesn't get credit for stepping on his dick and not knowing how to handle it, and somehow Liv fucking it up even worse, and just being alive.
We fought the GM like when we drafted Herbert. Like I didn't think Telesco gets credit for that. No. If the Dolphins drafted Herbert, we were drafting Tua. Like there was no decision aspect there. We were just taking the guy that wasn't taken ahead of us.
Right. So Jay was just sitting there doing nothing because he didn't know how to do anything, and it just happened to work out. Like it always works out for Jay. That's it.
So you might laugh at me, but my other bet is kind of right here.
Okay.
And I mean, I can't help myself, Capper.
You did it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, look at the way Tommy Fleetwood has just flushed the nuts. I got a 35-1 and a 30-1 without Scottie. That FanDuel made a little quick mistake on that.
That's definitely a mistake. Yeah, that's a mistake.
Yeah. So the approach gained 4.5 at Pebble, gained over 5 at Genesis. We're headed to US Open style, maybe question that. This is like where you play Tommy. There's a lot of places where like maybe we overplay Tommy. I overplay Tommy. The slander of why you playing Tommy is acceptable, but not here. Not here when he has great approach numbers. And like, yes, he's a loser. Like he hasn't won on the PGA Tour.
Correct.
But like when you deep dive Tommy, he has won 7 times in Europe, and over half of those times he outdueled a Rory, a Rahm. Like he has gone head to head with big players and held his own. He did nothing wrong in Paris.
I don't count Euro wins.
Okay, fine. He did nothing wrong in Paris, and Scottie Scheffler won the gold medal. Like he played great.
Yeah. Paris, no qualms, no issues with Paris.
So I'm just gonna say that there is. He has shown his ceiling golf can always hang with these guys. He's just shown that. So that's the bet. If the counter is he just doesn't win, and it's the same reason. Like you could throw him in the JT Cantley sort of box, but different. And you've bet Hideki. Yeah. I totally respect you and your pivot from the guys who don't win. But
Yeah,
I'm
and so look,
the cardigan on Tommy just feels like
Tommy
people
trooper,
think
man.
I'm major. No, like this cardigan feels right. This will be his career achievement. This cardigan.
I know this is probably like golf, like mortal sin, but isn't that cardigan kind of like sneaky? One of like the worst like things that these guys have to put on. Like I don't think it ever looks right.
I think it'll look right on Tommy.
Maybe. So here's the
It looks
deal.
right
So I'm
on the
definitely-
No, I actually disagree. On the Europeans, it looks like right.
It looks all right. Okay.
Like
So maybe it's just
Molinari, Rory had it. Yeah,
Yeah,
just looks weird
so
on the
Scottie.
big
Yeah.
Americans. The little Euro
true.
guys, it looks fine on.
That's
but
true.
like even
actually, right.
Leishman, it looked weird on because he'd have
Yeah,
that
'cause he's a
big
fella.
husky or
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Listen, take it away. Like you don't need to
no, look,
slander Tommy to make
I'm
your
not gonna
point,
slander
other than
Tommy.
to say
No,
he's not.
I
He
know.
doesn't win.
So here's the deal. I used to despise Fleetwood. I couldn't put my finger on why. And this is years ago. I came around on Tommy, I think when he hit first round leader at TPC, and he had this really like well thought out interview after, and I really respected what he said.
You came
So then-
around on him because he's so goddamn beaten down. Like, how do you cheer against a guy like he's just been beaten down?
To be fair, so I am predisposed as being brought up Irish Catholic in Boston not to like English people.
Yeah, sure.
so that is always like it's always a stepping stone for me to get over to like a British person.
Yeah, he's
just
got
shit.
like I could see how if you don't like him, the face and the look is like a punchable one. Sure.
I don't even think so. I actually don't even think it's punchable. I think he's fine. Like whatever. Like look, I came around with him on that, but then I started betting on Tommy constantly.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And then he just kept constantly killing me. And so I made this point in our Discord earlier today. The Canadian Open was the first golf tournament that I actually think
I don't want to talk
made
about this one. I don't want to talk about this one.
No.
I don't want to talk. Really bother. Really, I
listen,
like.
But listen, I want you to
don't
listen.
talk about this one.
So this was, I think I laid the golf bet right before my heart attack. And then I had my heart attack. And then when I came out of the hospital, it was that weekend. And me and my buddy went to go like hang out and watch the end.
It's
of
been
it.
that
I had
long,
a
eh?
Yeah, it has been. And so I had the Tommy ticket. And when he laid up, I felt it was a personal attack on me to put me back into the hospital. He laid up. So from there on out, I was back out on Tommy. Look, I would actually love to see him win, and I feel like you're right. Like I feel like you're making all the right points. Like this is the perfect track for him, especially if it gets bad weather. The problem with that is I feel like maybe he's going to get steamed up a little bit, and
It's
I know
kind
that
of
really
been
doesn't
there.
happen.
He's doing the things. It's a right course for him, and he's doing the things that you need him to do right now.
Yep.
Like he's playing that golf.
Yeah. Look, I mean, if you
Yeah,
look at
and
all the
listen,
guys-
that was my decision. In the end, I decided to bet him instead of a
Right.
different loser like Cantley or
That's what I was just
JT.
about to say.
So I was
These, out of all these losers, like, so if you like, I would much rather bet Tommy than JT. Much rather bet Tommy than Cantlay.
But you make
Russell
good points
Henley
about
is
Hideki.
priced at
Okay.
the same price.
Oh,
Get out of my face! Like
You make good
Sunday
points
in?
about Hideki. I might circle. I might swim. Look, it's only Tuesday. I might look at
Yeah, it's
that
only Tuesday.
tomorrow.
Yeah. So I like Decky. And look, like I said, I actually have no issue with betting Fleetwood here. I just can't get there. I just can't. But maybe, just maybe, if he's hanging around on Sunday, and I know those winds are going to kick up, I will definitely have bullets to fire. So those are the only two bets you made of this entire board.
Yeah, I kind of been just in this weird spot of.
Well, you're hot. You got what do you got? 3 winners so far this year?
Yeah, 3 winners, but I didn't know. I felt like if I bet another one of those guys at like a guy at 25, I feel like I'm in a little more than I want. And there's no one.
Just pretend football's back and you're betting on a Sunday.
Yeah, and there's no. I don't know. There's. No, I'm scared of Rory and Scottie. Like I didn't really want to bet any. I didn't really want to bet anyone, and there's guys who I do like. Like we go down the board.
What do you think about Bobby Mack?
Yeah, like if I was building like a balanced card, I could see myself betting a guy like Bobby Mack. But there's guys like
bad weather.
like Minwoo Lee, Davis Thompson. Like there's guys I like. I just
You want to talk about punchable face? Davis Thompson
Yeah.
is in the running for the most punchable face in golf.
I just don't think they're gonna win.
No, I don't think so. So
I'm not gonna
I'm
bet
with
them.
you. I'm with you. Like, so I've only made I've only made 2 bets too. I bet Bobby Mack and I bet Decky. And I don't think I want to, like, I don't want to bet any of these guys. Like, I'm not betting Corey Connors, like, because he's good here and he's accurate. I'm not betting Daniel Berger on a long, tough golf course when he just melted the week before because everybody thought he was back. Aaron Rye piques my interest a little bit, but I feel like I'm going down the narrative of just like bad weather players. There's still going to be 2 really good days in between where I'm going to need a guy to score and not just make fucking pars. So Rye piques my interest.
Like Shane
Adam
Lowry's
Scott.
gotten a lot of love.
Yeah, I
but
can
that's
never get
another
there with
guy. Like
him.
he's a hard guy to trust to like win.
No, yeah, dude, him putting on a Sunday makes you want to commit suicide. Like if you have money on him and you watch him line up over a 2-foot putt, that is not a guarantee. It is not, and you are stressed out the entire time.
Honestly, that's why. Like who other than Ludvig? Like honestly,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Listen, I get it. Like I said, so like,
who else do I
can't-
even trust at the moment? I don't trust these guys.
Billy Horschel, maybe that's a deep number.
But I'm not. I'm not betting down the board. I
don't think it's. I don't think it's good. I don't think it will either. But if I only have a 25 and a 50, I mean, I guess I could go back to Ludwig.
Yeah, you gotta find bodies. I get it. You gotta fill the card. Tomorrow's another day. Gonna make.
We didn't even talk about Xander. Xander at 20, like that seems wrong, right?
I guess unless we're
He
getting
just won
swerved.
2 majors.
Okay, Xander at 20. It's not like I'm running to bet it. It's not like you're running to bet it.
No,
Xander
the
at
number just
25.
sticks out.
Are you running to bet it? I don't know that I am.
I don't
Like
think I am either.
where
I'm not
would
one
you
of those
be?
guys though either.
But where would you be like, okay, I just have to fucking bet this. Xander at 30,
I guess
35 to
it's
1,
30.
40 to 1.
30.
Like,
yeah, something like you just got to at that point.
but I
Yeah.
just like really don't think he's going to. I mean, sure, this can sound stupid. And I'm just playing out of the snippets that we get to hear about and see.
Yeah.
But like hasn't really played 18 holes, has been on like a ball count. Like, you're gonna win Bay Hill out of that? Like, fuck off. Like, no,
look, I hear you.
like that's all. Like it's almost like so it would honestly have to get to like 35 to 1 for me to take the red ink off it. Because I like at 10, 15, 20, 25, I'd rather like honestly, I'd rather bet Morikawa, like just circumstantially.
You stop it.
No, I just mean like for this situation, like Xander first run.
I would rather bet.
I'll tell you this. Can I tell you? I don't think it would change anything.
Okay.
But in a perfect world, Xander even like misses the finishes horribly, but does some things that like kind of catch your eye to make you think he's healthy. Then you could want to come in and bet him next week at like 25 to 1 or something. Like the Players.
Yeah.
Where he was great. Like the Players for me last year was my like end of the road with him. Like I bet him so much, and I was on him at the Players, and he just you felt he was good, felt like he's gonna win it, and then he did it. He got run. I don't know. I just thought I was like, I'm done with him, and then he blew that 4-6 lead to Rory at Wells Fargo. Then I'm like, okay. Not betting this guy.
That was my end of the road.
And then he goes on, he goes on to be the man. But yeah, maybe him just playing 4 rounds this week horribly would make me maybe want to bet him next week if there's a fair number.
I can see that.
Next week I'd be considering the 20 for sure. This week it's just no chance.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that is the best outcome, that he doesn't play well or even mediocre, and they just hang the same number. Yeah. I think I'll root for that instead of betting it this week. If I miss him coming off an injury, then I'd miss him. Like whatever, it is what it is. I can't play. But Morikawa was terrible here, and he is. I call him.
Yeah,
a COVID
I don't bet
golfer.
him. I haven't bet him, so like I always joke like I want to get cocky and like just sort of jump on at the perfect moment to like call the win. Well, like so many. Listen, I have my own guys that I've bet at short numbers that don't win. So I'm not like I'm throwing a stone at a glass house, but in the same like like I never literally haven't bet him in years. And have friends that like last year were like chasing it the whole fucking year. Where I just like almost like I want to jump on and like just catch it. And it'd be the funniest thing. But I'm not, I mean, no, not. He did win once in Florida.
Oh, no, didn't he choke it away? I don't even care. Like I make the joke.
In COVID, I feel like he won in Florida.
Yeah, I call him a COVID golfer. He won one of the easiest.
Golfer,
he won one of the easiest opens of all time with no fucking win because it was TrackMan Golf. Chased down my who stays.
And then he won a home event without a crowd, which is
without a crowd
takes away having to see your like girlfriend in 10th grade. Like, yeah,
yep. So yeah, he's another guy who came off like real bad, real bitchy, like real bitchy from that no laying up or swing, whatever the hell it's called. Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm with you. I don't really know where else to go on this board. Like I'm not betting Keegan, even though he fits the golf course well. Like as far as like outrights go, like maybe I can find some positionals and some matchups I want to tag it.
Jason Day maybe, but I'm just
maybe there's Disney in the area, so that's always a risk.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the joke. Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah.
Fitzy sucks. Like I'm not betting Fitzy. I don't care how bad the weather is.
The Gallows caught some steam.
I don't trust him. He's too loose off the fucking tee here, man. If he gets buried in that rough, like
is he gonna win? Like when he wins his breakthrough event, it's probably gonna be closer to a birdie party than something that is a grind.
I think so. I think that's right.
Right. Like I'm not betting him. Yeah,
I'd rather bet Nick Taylor than Thigala. Like at least Nick Taylor wins. You know what I mean? Like in events like this, I want guys with win equity who've done it before, who aren't going to shit down their leg on a Sunday. Like when they're staring at Scottie Scheffler and Rory being either 2 shots ahead or 2 shots back, chasing them down. I don't need a gutless loser. I just don't. What do you think about Dietrich?
Honestly, because it just like I haven't. If I was playing DraftKings, probably like pump a ton of Dietrich. What's his number? 100? 80?
Yeah. 100.
I mean, no. Like I'm not betting him to win. I'm not betting any of these guys to win.
I got you.
Again, if they do it, I'll tip my cap. My Cam Young 110. Holy shit!
Fucking Cam Young ain't winning this fucking thing.
I'm just it's just noticeable. It's just noticeable where he's.
Because he sucks at golf. He is not good at golf. He is like, I don't know. Like he's going to be a fancy DraftKings play because he's so long off the box and he plays well at majors and big boy events, which I can understand, like getting a little exposure in DraftKings. But he's not going to get a single one of my sportsbook dollars. No, thank you. Yeah, well, fuck it. I guess that's the board. Fucking who do you?
Yeah, I know. I just.
No, I don't.
I know. Was worried I wasn't really gonna have anything profound in terms of betting an outright winner for Bay Hill this week.
We got 50 minutes in. We hit Puffy, we hit tariffs, we hit all types of shit. What are your thoughts on what do you want in this in the LA Chargers draft? What do you want? What's your if you could choose?
I mean, like if I could choose. They're drafting 22nd.
Yep.
And
I remember those days. Those were fun.
They have a lot of needs. I wouldn't want to bore people.
I don't think you have a lot of needs.
Yeah, from the outside, you might not think so, but they have needs. If you watch the playoff game, they need guards to complement those tackles. They got blown the F up on the interior, and that was all season long.
I know. I lost money on that game.
Obviously, they need a long-term answer. I don't know. My daughter had to go to the hospital during that game. It was just a fucking horrible day.
Yeah, I remember. I messaged you after. That's scary, man. That's scary.
They like corner. They could be like Bosa and Matt could be gone, which I don't think is the worst thing. But there's
if you had to keep,
receiver,
if you had to keep one,
tight end.
Who'd you keep?
I keep Mac. I keep Mac.
Me too. I would keep Mac.
He plays more. He's healthier. He's more reliable. I love Joey, but
I told you who Joey Bosa's grandfather is, right? Didn't I tell you that?
I know that the dad played for the Dolphins. He's a gangster, right, or something, a mobster.
Yeah. Tony Accardo. He ran the Chicago outfit for like fucking. He was like Al Capone's bodyguard and like was the boss of the outfit until he died.
So, like, what would make me happiest would be a tight end.
Okay,
like if they got one of these.
I appreciate Hunter Henry. He's the only good player on my team.
I like Hunter Henry. I wish you had him back, but I love. The Chargers have been, without a tight end since they let Henry go. I never thought they even utilized him enough when they had him. Yeah. I need a seam buster, someone for Justin. I don't know whether you think it's good or not, but we've obviously been linked to Devontae Adams. He's a California guy. We need a body for Herbert.
Anybody who's like best friends with Aaron Rodgers has, what did we say earlier, like a giant personality flaw? That's a giant personality flaw.
I guess. Yeah, fair enough. That being said, Aaron Rodgers made him, like, personally, you can, like, Aaron Rodgers helped him make a lot of effing money. So maybe fair. There's like a thing there. But if you look at you're a Patriots fan, right? There's no free agent receivers.
None. Zero.
There's none. And obviously these guys come from all different rounds in the draft now. And I trust my front office in the way they played it last year by, like, they showed me they just see the board. They took Alt in the first round and they knew they'd get a receiver in the second. And they got McConkey, and those through.
Oh, I know.
The Patriots.
We could have had McConkey. That was great. You know who we took instead? I don't even remember which fucking bum did we take? Oh, Javon Baker, maybe.
Polk. No, you took Polk. You took Polk.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Another one. Another fucking bum. It is. Belichick used to get blamed for not being able to draft a fucking wide receiver. Since he's left, we've drafted no better. There was like a disease in New England of not being able to find a fucking wide receiver. We passed on Metcalf. We passed on everybody under the sun and took fucking N'Keal Harry, the only bad receiver out of that entire class. And it's just frustrating. But nobody wants to hear me bitch. But guess what? My team's sucked for like fucking 5 years.
The problem is we're in a similar spot. Well, not like we aren't. We're different points here. But you know me. I like May. I'm excited for you guys. I was a fan.
Yep.
I supported that. I defended it.
I know you did.
Right? Yep. Even, anytime there are questions, I got defensive for the guy. But both of our teams, we have a lot of cap room, and it's not a great free agent class.
And we both have cheap owners.
Yeah. Our owners, they built a new facility. They signed the quarterback. We've paid a coach. We do have a cheap owner, but
what did you kick? I thought the Rams guy paid a majority of that fucking stadium, and then didn't taxpayer.
No, we bought a facility. I didn't say the stadium. We built a brand new training facility,
Okay.
state of the art. Where the guys practice and do the meeting all day, right? So that was no. I didn't say yes, but I'm just saying that was that. But yes, no, we haven't. We are freeloaders in Stan Kroenke Stadium, and certainly like a flawed ownership group. But this time, more at this moment in time, they've done a couple things. Like last year, people there's no way they'll pay a coach. There's no way they'll pay Harbaugh. They paid Harbaugh.
Right.
People made jokes that we were like the Browns in terms of how we'd pay a quarterback. Yes, the Browns paid a quarter, but trust me, we're not like that level. Fucked, but
the Bengals selling plasma TVs out of the back of the stadium.
No, we're not. We're not. Yeah, we're not that. But no, I'm not. I don't want to come off as I'm standing for they moved the team. I love San Diego, even though it's down the road. Any owner that is around for moving a team, you'll always you're never above a D-rate owner. You move the fucking team, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. As my boy Pete says, Patriots are still getting Fs on the player survey for everything because Kraft is so they used to pass the buck and say Belichick was cheap and they didn't want to sign anybody. And there were certain media members who were
or they also used to pass the buck and say not just sign anyone,
Yep.
Belichick was cheap, like how we do things frugally here. Belichick liked it that way. Like we couldn't like improve things because Bill didn't want them improved.
Yeah. And there's certain media members who are very smart. Like, it's not Bill's money. Bill has a budget that he gets to spend, and that comes from the owner. And now, without Tom and without Bill to cover this shit up, it is become. And what's funny is, so the Crafts own like a soccer team too. It's like the New England Revolution, and those fans have been bitching since inception about how cheap the Crafts are, and we're all like, shut the fuck up, nobody cares about soccer. But now it's affecting us, and it's crazy. Like, I am not a fan. Like, I'm like, is Bob Kraft really that fucking cheap? And then I think about it, what kind of billionaire goes to the Orchids of Asia and pays $100 for a hand job for a fucking 80-year-old Asian lady when he could have like the top dollar whores, like Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones ain't paying no $80-year-old
character flaw
woman for a hand job. Yeah, huge hand, huge.
Yeah.
Red Jerry flag. Jones pays for top shelf. Bob Kraft goes to a fucking strip mall in Florida for a hand job. That is a huge character flaw.
I love that.
So. All right. Well, listen. Good luck with the draft, brother. I know this is the first time you've been on the new pod since.
First time. So. Have me on any time. I support you guys. But yeah, listen. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm in this weird space of like they're drafting 22nd, so I'm kind of too far down the board. Like, I'm not getting zoning in on guys yet because then I'll fall in love. And it's at a point where like I'm still in a bit of a honeymoon phase with the new regime. And I thought they did a great job last year at the draft and like with a lot of the knick-knacky free agents as we were like 80 million over the cap and had to gut a lot of things.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll have a wish list, but I'm too far down the board to sort of develop it yet. And in the end, like I learned last year, I might like want some sizzle. Like Jim Harbaugh is just going to draft a fucking guard. Like that's true. Right? Like, people are going to think, oh, they need a receiver. They need which we do. And I'm sure through free agency and other rounds or maybe a trade. But in the end, like, you can mock us whatever you want. We're going to draft like a trenches D tackle or an offensive guard.
Look at the fucking Super Bowl. I mean, look at the difference the D and O line made. I mean, I know it's a cliche, and especially like all the DFS guys and all those guys are all about throwing the ball and not running it, but you need a good line. You need to win the battle up front on both ends of the ball, and that's the way it goes. And Harbaugh's a fucking old school dinosaur, so that's the way he's going to think. And the team looked good up until that game, and that was a giant trap game, and I should listen to the smarter people than me.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot, right? Like in this wild card era, the team like that home team that like wins the shitty division, and they've just always kind of been a bit of a hornet's nest. And we walked into it, and we got punched in the fucking mouth, and they exposed flaws. And I was
learning lesson. Good learning lesson.
Yeah, listen, they won 5 games the year before, then they win 11, but we didn't beat anyone, Capper. Our best wins, quality wins, were Denver. We beat Denver twice. Now, granted, when you go from 5 to 11, you don't care that you didn't beat anyone.
Correct.
But like next year, like I demand, like I need a fucking quality win.
Yeah,
I
completely understand. I used to get mad when we'd be like 8-2, and I'd be like, well, we haven't played fucking anybody. I was like, this team is a joke. Like, I was like,
you had probably already won Super Bowls then,
right? Exactly. But what I'm saying is, you once you see a team that is complete enough to win a Super Bowl, it doesn't matter how many games you win. When you're looking at these games, you're looking at all the flaws and realizing where you're going to fuck up in the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess so. But like next year, like that's not an excuse. Right. Like they'll have to win games, beat higher end teams. Yeah, I mean, that's it. But you know me, like I'd play the Chiefs tomorrow and they'd kick my ass. But I'm always frothing at the mouth for it, friend.
That's all right. That's what makes you a fan, brother. All right. Well, you guys know where to find Jeff. He's all over the Mayo Media Network, Odds Checker videos, and at the Hammer HQ. I'll be back Sunday with Steve, hopefully. Hopefully him and his kid get better since his wife and other kid got to go to Florida.
Get better. I know it.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Dealing with
this time of year is the worst with the kids.
Yeah, the worst.
It's the worst. But I appreciate you coming on, brother. And hopefully we get a winner in the next week's fucking the players. So let's go.
Oh, yeah. Tommy in the red card again. I'd cry for it. So let's get it.
All right.
Later, friend.